Have you ever just looked up at the night sky and wondered, what's next for us out there? For a long time, it kind of felt like we were just looking. But right now, we are kicking off a brand new chapter in space. We're not just dreaming about new journeys and new worlds anymore. We're actually starting to build them.
So what's changed? I mean, are we really living in a new space age? After all the excitement of the first moon landings, things got pretty quiet for a while. But all of a sudden, space is the place to be again. And believe me, things are moving faster than ever before.
So let's dive into it. First up, we really need to get our heads around just how crowded our little corner of the universe has become. It's not as empty up there as you might think.
Just think about it for a second. For decades, going to space was a job for governments, right? Like NASA, with its incredible Artemis program that's aiming for the moon and even Mars. But now, the game has totally changed. We've got private companies building these amazing rockets that can fly to space, come all the way back, land, and then fly again. I mean, can you imagine if every time you took a flight, the airline just threw the plane away? That's seriously how it used to be with rockets. By reusing them, the cost of getting into space is dropping like a rock, and that's opening up the final frontier to a whole new generation of explorers, scientists, and, well, maybe even you.
But with all this new traffic heading off-planet, we've kind of created a cosmic traffic jam with a really dangerous twist. It turns out we're not very tidy people. We need to talk about the mess we've been leaving behind. That's right, space junk. Every single launch, from the very first satellite to the latest mission, has left something behind. And all that stuff has created a dangerous, invisible minefield that's just orbiting our planet.
And get this isn't a new problem. For more than 60 years, basically since the space age began, we've been treating the area just above Earth like a giant cosmic landfill. And now, well, the bill is coming due.
So what are we really talking about here? Space junk isn't just big old satellites. Oh no. It's everything from spent rocket stages to a glove an astronaut lost, and even tiny flecks of paint. A fleck of paint doesn't sound very scary, does it? Well, think again. When that tiny fleck is traveling at 17,500 miles per hour, that's fast enough to get from New York to LA in about 10 minutes. It hits with the destructive force of a bowling ball. That can completely destroy a satellite or even punch a hole in a spacecraft.
Okay, it's a scary thought, I know. But the good news is, some of the smartest people on the planet are working on a solution. It's time for the great cosmic cleanup. Let's check out how they're planning to do it.
The strategy to fix this is actually pretty logical when you think about it. It's a two-part approach. First, you've got to stop the problem from getting any worse. And second, you've got to clean up the mess that's already there. Simple, right?
So, how do we stop making more of a mess? Well, the first step is to change the rules of the road. It's kind of hard to believe, but companies used to be able to just leave their dead satellites floating around up there for 25 years. Now there's a new international agreement in place. You have to safely bring your satellite down within 5 years. That is a huge step towards keeping our cosmic neighborhood clean for the future.
Okay, so that's for the new stuff. But what about the millions of pieces of junk that are already up there? Well, this is where science fiction starts to become science fact. Engineers are designing some incredible solutions. Think spacefaring garbage trucks with giant robotic arms to grab old satellites, massive nets to sweep up smaller debris, and even harpoons to go after the biggest, toughest pieces. We're literally building a cleanup crew for the cosmos.
So once we get a handle on cleaning up our own orbit, we can really start to focus on that next giant leap, actually living on other worlds like the moon and Mars.
So why? Why are we so focused on going to the moon and Mars? The ultimate goal here is one of the biggest ideas in all of human history, to make sure we can survive long-term by becoming a multi-planetary species. You can think of it like creating a backup drive for humanity, just in case something ever goes terribly wrong here on Earth.
Of course, this is going to be incredibly difficult. The moon and Mars are not friendly places. We're talking about wild, extreme temperatures, from boiling hot to freezing cold. We're talking about dangerous levels of radiation from space. And, oh yeah, there's absolutely no air that we can breathe.
So how could we possibly survive there? It's not like we can pack everything we'd ever need from Earth. The solution is this brilliant concept with a super fancy name, in situ resource utilization, or ISRU for short. But really it just means living off the land, using what's already there on the moon or Mars to help us survive and even thrive.
So what does living off the land look like on another planet? It's absolutely incredible.
Imagine, instead of shipping heavy building materials all the way from Earth, we could 3D print our houses using the local Martian soil. We could mine for frozen water that's buried right under the surface. We could even take the Martian air, which is mostly carbon dioxide, and break it apart to create breathable oxygen. It's the ultimate off-world survival strategy.
So we've looked at this new age of space travel, the junk problem it's creating, and these unbelievable plans for our future. So what's the big takeaway here? What's our next step? When you put it all together, you really see the whole picture. We're tackling the practical problems that we created, like cleaning up our own backyard in orbit so that we can reach for the truly inspiring goal of building entirely new worlds. This isn't just a dream anymore. Humanity is on the launch pad, getting ready for its next giant leap.
And really, all of this leads to one final question. And this one's for you. As we stand here, right on the edge of this new frontier, it really makes you wonder, with all of these new challenges and amazing opportunities, what role will you play in our space future? Thanks for joining me.